Hello, welcome to the channel. Jamie here from JAYP Cars. Today you join me with the cheapest Volvo in the country. We need to fix it because the cluster doesn't work and the boot doesn't open. So we're going to go back to some footage from a couple of weeks ago when I fixed them.
So the first thing we need to do with this Volvo is sort out this cluster, because obviously you can't drive with no speedo and without the revs and not knowing how much practical you've got. Put my little trim removal tool, get all the clips out. Oh, beautiful. The top half of the steering column. Pull that out, pull that down. That gives me a bit more space to play around with this. And out she comes. There we go. And then the speedo is a bit more accessible. And now that we've got this out, we should be able to, now all the screws are out, tip forward and bring it out. Pull that out and then we can pull all of this out. So there we have it, guys. We have the speedo out and now we can change this for another unit. All the ones that I found online have had up to only 5,000 revs. And I'm like, I'm not quite sure why. Either an overhaul or we need to get a new one. So our next job is to get into the boot of this car, and then we need to try and get this boot latch done because the boot won't open. First thing is to try and get the panel off without cracking it. Feeling down towards the lock, I found the black tab that opens the boot and pushed it open. Unscrewed the panel, one each side, accessing the mechanism. These two metal pieces were attached to the lever that opens the boot, but they didn't actually press on anything. After a mess about, I found that the lock would work manually, and I knew that the metal pieces must be misaligned. Loosening the Jubilee clip allowed me to bend one of the metal pieces back into place and place it onto the lever, causing it to work again. So now for the moment of truth to see if the boot actually opens. It opens from the inside. We've done that job. Let's just hope that's fixed it. Yes, it has. Close. Open. We've just fixed that. That is great. So if you're ever having that issue, it could be because of these two scissoring things. Hi guys, so 2 weeks later we are back in the Volvo and we have the cluster, which is in this box, sent back by UPS to miss all the strikes, which was really good, of Revtronic, which these guys here in this bottom corner, £80 to get this done, plus postage one way, but they did pay for free return postage. And there she is, my cluster ready to go back in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of plug in at the back, and then before screwing it all back in, I'm just going to make sure it actually works. I've got the mileage, I've got the trip, I've got how many degrees it is, I haven't got the time because that probably needs to be set, but it does have SRS airbag service urgent. So I'm going to get my code reader. Ow, my head, how many times do I have to hit that? I'm going to plug this into the Volvo and hopefully I have the right information that I need to be able to do some work on this Volvo. S44 key. I've got an S44 key. These are keys that you put into this code reader, this old Solus Pro from Snap-on. And you have all these keys and it's just like they store all the information. This is the S44, I know, because it's got the big block on. It's the one that I use for all the Audis and stuff usually. It's asking for this Volvo to have an S44, so at least I've got it. Right, let's plug that in. No codes present. That's not true, because there's one right there. So I'm going to have to go a bit deeper into the system than just a generic code. So instead of going into OBD health check like I did last time, I'm going to go across and then go to Volvo, which should be right at the bottom. Volvo. Auto ID, hopefully. S69. Do I have that? 39, 35, 28, 43, 17, 27, 40, 28, 31, 33, 34, 32, 11, 7, 15, 8, 25, 4. Oh, please have the right one. 20, 26, 44, 45 is not looking good. 47, 50, 53, 51, 62, 61, 64. I don't have the right key. I assume it's not going to go if I just start the car. Okay, so this is why I sent it off to start with. Oh no, it died. Is that because of the airbag light? Is it like a fail-safe maybe to stop me from driving at places? I don't know. So you join me a couple of weeks later and I think I've worked out what is wrong with the cluster. So the cluster was showing the airbag light. I then put on Facebook, oh, can someone come up and scan it? Because obviously my scanner didn't scan because I didn't have the right key. So I have upgraded. Thank you for the Christmas money, everyone. I think the reason is for the airbag light, or the warning as such, is that the airbag light doesn't actually show. And I think that's because the bulb is out. So a guy called Mason, so thank you Mason, came up,
had a scan and it said the light bulb wasn't working, a permanent fault on it or something. So if I just take this out, I should be able to change the bulbs. So all the bulbs are in the back here, look. And then I bought these, and I'm assuming these are the right ones. I'm not quite sure. Oh, that one. That one's blown. That might be the one. That one, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. That is really blown. Oh, that'd be awesome if it was just that simple. That one's also the same. I'm just going to change them while I'm here. Now I'm going to plug this back in, having changed some of the bulbs in there, and then we will clear the code and hope and pray that it is actually going to work. SRS lamp faulty signal, intermittent fault. When Mason came along and scanned it with his tools, they're permanent. Let's erase codes and see if that works. It worked. It worked! We have a Volvo with no airbag light on. Oh my God. I didn't think that was going to work for some reason. I had a feeling. Look at that in there. That, oh God, this is trippy. That was where it was. That's where the code was. And now that we are all caught up and in present day, I've got to put the cluster back in and also the trim on the boot, and then we can take it for a drive. So I fitted back the cluster with the 4 torque screws, 1 in each corner, and then I clipped the trim back into place. Next was to put the boot panel back on by putting the screws back in place. And so that concludes, we have fixed the cheapest Volvo in the country for around £90, 80 for the cluster, £7 to send it off, and then £3 for the little lights to go in the back of the unit. The boot we fixed for free, so that is perfect. So 90 quid into this car, plus the 400 I bought it for, about £490. And we've got a road legal Volvo. Brilliant. So now I've got to drive it, but that is going to be in the next video. So I shall see you very soon. Please do subscribe to the channel, help us propel the channel and do some crazy stuff. And for those of you that have been eyeing the channel quite a lot, we have a date. We have a date for the unit. So stay tuned for that. See you in the next video.